Spinach is full of flavor and goodness, but like many fresh vegetables, it loses nutritional value each passing day. In fact, 8 days after harvest, it's lost half. So look for fresh, beautiful, full bunches like this. Today, I'm gonna be making a fantastic coconut cream spinach, and it's gonna go so good with my jerk chicken. I'm Michael Williams, and that's what we're cooking on the coast. I try to be a nice guy most of the time, but from time to time I have to admit I'm a jerk. Well, not so much a jerk, but a fan of jerks. Like the jerk chicken and callaloo we're making today. You're gonna see what I mean once you have a taste. Let's get started. So we're gonna dive right into making a jerk marinade. Jerk chicken is one of my favorite dishes in the world. So much flavor, love it. We're gonna use our Vitamix blender here to puree everything together. So let's start off by cutting up some onion, some garlic, and some ginger. We're also gonna throw in some habanero pepper. Now, if you don't have access to habanero, you can just use serrano pepper. That's gonna dial down the spice a little bit, which is fine. If you love the spice though, search out that habanero pepper and roll with it. 1 or 2 in this recipe is fantastic. So let's get chopping. I'm gonna cut up our onion just roughly so that it fits in our blender. Now, this is a bit of a smaller onion, so I'm just gonna use the whole thing. If it's a big onion, you can use half. Whenever you're cooking, it comes down to you needing to decide exactly what, how to roll, how to compensate, how to adjust, because when a recipe says 1 onion, onions come in different shapes and sizes. So there's a certain amount of judgment that comes into cooking. And it's up to you to kind of figure that out. A little bit of practice, experimentation will go a long way. You'll figure out the ins and the outs. If you're not comfortable, all it takes is practice, just like anything else. So we're gonna grab a few cloves of garlic here. Just use the side of my knife there to crush it. You wanna crush until it cracks. We'll get that in our blender. We'll grab our ginger next. We've got a nice big chunk of ginger here. There's no need to peel our ginger. All I do is, I do take care to remove any blemishes, any, unfavorable spots. The skin's fantastic. Lots of nutrition, delicious. So that's gonna go into the blender. Now, habanero pepper time. So I'm gonna ask you, if you're rolling with habaneros, to exercise caution. There is some spicy action in these guys. They're a very hot pepper. So once you're done handling the pepper, what you want to do is you want to make sure you wash your knife, your cutting board, your hands, really important. What we do want to do here is we want to remove the seeds and the veins. You can see I've just cut it in half. Easiest way is actually to cut it into quarters. And then from there, you can very easily just remove those seeds and veins. Now, the worst thing you can do is do what we're doing right now, handling that pepper, and then rub your eye. I did it once. Oh my goodness, it was so painful. It was intense. Habanero pepper goes in. Let's make an effort to wipe up like I suggested. So next up, we're gonna grab our green onion, and we're gonna put a whole bunch of green onion into the blender. I'm just gonna trim right at the end here, remove the root part of the green onion. And then I'm gonna chop this into maybe 2-3 pieces. And that goes directly into the blender. All we need to do now is grab some soy sauce, some honey, and a little bit of olive oil, and then some spices. I'm gonna eyeball it. I'm a big fan of eyeballing. I don't like breaking out the measuring spoons and being super precise. I'm gonna put in a couple tablespoons. So there's 1 and there's 2. We're gonna get some honey in there as well. Couple tablespoons of that. So we're just gonna go in 1 big scoop. Let it drizzle. And then also some extra virgin olive oil. A few tablespoons of that. And now, just a pinch of salt and the most important flavor, allspice. A lot of people are confused about allspice. They think it's a bunch of spices, but it's actually not. It's an allspice berry, that's what it's called, and it's just exploding with flavor. The smell as well, it's incredible. It's a really, really wonderful spice that you can incorporate into your dish. And we're gonna be fairly bold with it. Okay, so let's get this onto the blender and get it pureed. And it looks like I could have chopped my onions just a tad more, so that's fine. We'll give it a bit of a stir. Sometimes it needs a little bit of an encouragement. There we go. Beautiful, that is perfect. So our marinade is now ready for our chicken. Let's grab our chicken and I'm gonna show you a couple tips with that. I've got some leg and thigh here. Now with this marinade, you could, marinate any chicken, whole chicken, parts of chicken, chicken breast, chicken wings. It's super flexible. It works really well. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cut the thigh off of the leg. So it takes a little bit of practice, but right about here, it's about a 45-degree angle, right in the middle here. And if you do it just right, you slide right through. Now, because we're marinating this, I want to get that flavor into the meat. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little slit in our leg here, just so we have some extra surface area. And I'll do the same on the thigh. I want to increase the surface area so we get more of that marinade into it. And then also, it adds some extra edges to get crisped up when it's caramelizing in the oven. Makes it beautiful. There we go. Okay, so once again, like so, little slit on that thigh, and we're now ready to get this marinating. I'm gonna grab us a bowl. Chicken goes into the bowl, marinade onto the chicken. And what we wanna do now, we're gonna let this marinate overnight. So at least 8 hours. I like to get it as long as 24 hours. That's the real way to get that flavor right into the middle of the chicken. And I have some marinating already that I'm gonna throw into the oven. Onto the tray it goes. It's gonna be a 400-degree oven that we want for this. We're gonna let it roast until the chicken's cooked all the way through, of course, which is about 25 minutes to half an hour, depending on how big it is. We're gonna be back later in the show to pull together our jerk chicken with Callaloo. But before that, we're gonna hit the road. Join me right after the break.
Cooking on the Road is brought to you by Cold Star Solutions, an integral part of Vancouver Island's grocery supply chain for 20 years.
We're here at Millstone Farm and Organics, and I've got a very special job to do. This is Boots, is it? Is that right, Lori?
This is Boots.
Hello, Boots. Do you want some milk? Hey, are you hungry? Oh, look at this. Oh boy. Someone's very hungry. You guys have all kinds of great stuff happening here, which all started with dryer balls, is that right?
That's right.
Yeah? Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
So we raise miniature baby doll sheep,
Yeah.
and we use their wool to make the dryer balls.
This guy right here?
This guy
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
This is our orphan lamb from this year. So
Yeah.
we have to give him a little bit of help with his milk.
Right. Well, he's doing pretty well, I can tell. He's a hungry little boy. Do you have any other animals on the farm?
We do. We've got miniature donkeys and chickens and a golden retriever.
I saw a chicken running around behind me here. Yeah.
There'll be a few probably in a bit.
He's all done.
Yeah, it goes very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's a certified cruelty-free farm.
Okay.
So we don't test any of our products on the animals. We also do not eat the animals. So this is their forever home.
Yeah.
They have a very big part in the family.
Beautiful. Yeah. Very nurturing, loving, incredible environment. I'm loving it so far.
Thank you.
So Boots and his crew have been producing wool for your dryer balls for some time now. But I came to know you through these guys. I was actually shopping for the show and I saw these fantastic bags. I've been on a mission to reduce my single-use plastics for a long time. And when I saw this, I'm like, right on. So tell us a little bit about your produce bags.
Produce bags.
Yeah.
So same mission as you, to reduce and ultimately eliminate single-use plastic bags. So it took us months and months of searching to find an organic cotton.
Yeah.
And once we found an organic, certified organic cotton farm,
Yeah.
then we've had the organic cotton mesh woven for us and then sewn into bags. So the bags are washable in your washing machine, all certified organic.
Right.
Put your produce in there and
Yeah.
keep your produce in the bags into your fridge.
Right.
They will also preserve the food for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Plastic and nylon off gas.
Yeah,
They're
of course.
petrochemicals,
Yeah.
so it causes the food to rot really quick.
Right.
And these should pretty much last forever.
So you got different sizes here. I imagine you can get these products in lots of different stores. What's the demand like for you? How's that happening?
The demand is growing and far surpassed the demand that we thought would be there right away. So we're doing these by the thousands pretty much weekly.
Wow.
And local printer that's printing our retail brand on them, everything.
Yeah.
We're stringing them and rolling them here, and
Yeah.
out the door they go. For us, every bag that goes out, we're pretty excited. It's one more plastic bag not being used.
What a fantastic product. I see myself using this for a long time to come. With that said, I need another cuddle from Boots, so I'm going to go find him.
Okay. You'll be happy.
We're back in the kitchen. We're well on our way to finishing up our jerk chicken with Callaloo. Callaloo is actually a Trinidad national dish. It's fantastic. While down in Trinidad, they'll be using a different green than us. We're going to use some spinach. Callaloo is actually the name of the vegetable. And it is a leafy green, much like spinach. Much different flavor, mind you, but we're gonna fake it and it's gonna be fantastic. We've got a pot, I should say, warming up here. I'm going to chop up some onion and garlic, which we're gonna saute, and then we'll get this started. So, some diced onion is what we're looking for here. Lots of onion. Onion is in so many of my dishes, so I feel bad for those people who have onion allergies. That's a tough one. How do you get around that? And let's get our garlic rocking as well. A little shortcut to peeling garlic. This is probably my favorite trick of all time. You just take a nice, well-weighted pot or pan onto a clove of garlic and crunch. And just crunch it up. And we're gonna be well on our way to peeled garlic. Check that out, it's already done. Love saving time like that. Now, as I mentioned, we're gonna look for some diced onion here, so let's do that. And we're actually gonna puree this sauce afterwards, so we're gonna get it on the stovetop, simmering away. We're gonna add some coconut milk, spices, and wilt that spinach down into the sauce. And once we've done that, we're gonna hit it with our immersion blender just to buzz it up a little bit. So just a rough chop is fine. So I've got some heat now on my pot. We'll add in our coconut oil. We'll add in our onions. Just a quick slice on our garlic here. Oh, I love the smell of coconut oil. Warm coconut oil in a pot or a pan. It smells incredible. So we'll let that go for a little bit. We'll soften up those onions. And then, as mentioned, coconut milk. That's a good one. Should be no noise, no shaking. Nice solid coconut milk, that's what we're looking for. So once we're ready, that coconut milk is just gonna get added right into the pot with our onions and our garlic. And then we'll bring that coconut milk up to a simmer. And then it's time for some spices and spinach. So really simple recipe. I wanna show you a trick with spinach. You buy your spinach bunched like this. There's no need to buy the pre-washed packaged spinach. You're gonna pay a premium for it, and it's not nearly as fresh. So when you buy nice bunches of spinach like this, the farmer has it lined up all ready for you. Check it out, it's perfect. I'm just gonna cut it right there to remove those stems. So you just remove the stems, and then this goes plunk right into our salad spinner. Wash it a couple of times, because spinach comes quite dirty. Once it's washed a couple of times, spin it dry. It doesn't have to be super dry. We're not using it for a salad because it's going into our pot here. And that is ready for us now. So let's get our coconut milk in. Beautiful. Gonna bring that up to a simmer. And we'll let that simmer for a couple of minutes. We're gonna add in our spices now. So some salt and some paprika. And paprika, you may not know, is not very spicy at all. It's a really mild pepper. This is a smoked paprika, which adds a wonderful smoky flavor to whatever you use it in. It's one of my favorite spices. I absolutely love smoked paprika. So I'm being a little bit heavy-handed with it there. And finally, we've got some serrano peppers. You could use habanero just like we used earlier, but I'm just gonna plunk those in and we're gonna let them kind of simmer away with our coconut milk. So we're ready to get our spinach in. Now, you might be thinking, wow, that is a lot of spinach. That's probably more than we need, but it's amazing how much spinach condenses down. So we're just gonna drop that in. And as you can see, it is over full, but not for long. As that simmers away, it's gonna keep condensing down and working its way into the sauce. Now, ideally, we would let this kind of simmer on low for, 20, 30 minutes. Really incorporate the flavors of those chilies into it. When you've been cooking for as long as I have, you have gained the skill of bending time. We're 15 minutes in here, we're ready to puree this callaloo. So I'm gonna pull out those peppers. I don't wanna puree them into it. If you wanted to bump the spice up on this dish, you absolutely could do that. We would probably roll by, cutting and incorporating those jalapenos or serranos or habaneros, whichever pepper you want, into the dish and then pureeing it in. But you'd want to cut it open, get rid of the stems, the seeds and the veins, generally speaking. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hit this with my hand blender. So I wanna make sure that we get our blender submerged. And what you're gonna see happen here is that wonderful color's gonna come out as that spinach purees into the coconut milk. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks amazing. And so, now you can probably imagine how that would make a wonderful soup, just like that. We could incorporate some other things into it, add some rice, maybe some colorful vegetables like red peppers or whatever. Lots of options. It's a fantastic base to kind of work from. And lots of possibilities with this recipe. So, we're almost ready to plate this up. I should grab my chicken, yeah? Let's see how that looks. I'm gonna pull the chicken out of the oven now. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic. So we do want to not put a hot pan onto our cutting board. The cutting board wouldn't like that. Let's get this plated up. So we'll start off actually with our callaloo. I'm just gonna pour that as our base onto the plate. And then from there, a little bit of rice, some chicken. You know what? Something a great chef taught me, actually many great chefs, always taste your food before you serve it. So I'm gonna check this out. Oh, wow. Just even that, just by itself, that's winner right there. And you might have noticed that grilled pineapple there. I smelt it. It's smelling incredible. What a great combination. The colors are gonna come together beautifully. So beautiful, beautiful sauce. I'm big on sticky rice. I love sushi rice, and that's kind of one of my go-tos. So a little bit of that. And then we're ready for our chicken. Boom, boom. Oh, mouths watering, yeah? Mine is. Grab one of those pineapples, place that over top, and this is absolutely looking fantastic. One of my favorite dishes here. So, there you have it, friends. Jerk chicken with callaloo. Super excited, can't wait to tuck into this.
Pairings are brought to you by Liquor Plus. Discover the plus.
What will make our recipe even better is the right beverage pairing. And with me right now is Dave from Vancouver Island Brewing. Welcome to the kitchen.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Great for your time.
So I created, as you know, a jerk chicken, big, bold flavors, lots of spices, allspice, and then a nice kind of creamy coconut spinach, basically. What did you choose to pair with that?
The beer I brought today it's our Broken Islands Hazy IPA. So it's a style that kind of got popular about 1.5 years ago. We've been making it since then, and it's actually our #1 seller quickly at retail, pretty much.
Wow.
Now. So
And that comes kind of with the huge IPA market. It seems like everyone's got IPAs these days.
Exactly. IPAs completely dominate craft beer.
Right.
So we kind of noticed a niche that nobody was making this style on the island.
Okay.
So I decided to do this one. So I'm going to crack it open and pour a little bit.
I've never tried your IPA, so I'm pretty excited to give it a go.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different style. It doesn't quite have the bitterness of the IPAs that some of the other ones in the market. It's more of a hop focus. So
Yeah.
look at that.
Ah, thank you.
So make sure before you have a sip, just give a good smell of it, and you'll get all those hop characters.
Oh wow, that smells incredible. There's a bit of fruitiness to it.
Yeah, lots of stone fruit, lots of citrus, lots of juiciness to it as well.
So I'm gonna have to say my glass isn't full enough, but we'll cover that later.
I can
Let's
help with
give
that.
this a taste, eh?
Sure thing.
Okay. Yeah. I see it. There's, you know, as you were mentioning, there's a lot of flavor happening in here. So
Yeah.
the competition between the two is kind of neutral.
Exactly. Well, you've got these kind of those spicy, the spice character from the jerk is kind of offset by the fruitiness of the hops.
Right.
And anytime you have beer is carbonated, so it's actually going to really cut through the richness of the coconut and the cream as well. So it's a nice pairing.
Yeah, and you know, beer pairing has become huge these days.
It's absolutely massive. It's something that a lot of people don't think about. But one of the great things about it is it's a lot more affordable than wine pairing.
Absolutely.
But it's definitely starting to take off.
Cool. So, you know, Vancouver Island Brewing's been around for a long time. I always remember you guys on the shelves.
Yeah.
One of the pioneers of the craft beer market, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, I mean, we opened in 1984, just a few months behind Spinach's. So they were sort of the first brewery, I guess you could say, in Victoria of the craft style, but we were only a few months behind, and we were opened as a production brewery.
That's awesome.
Done a lot of, you know, when you're around for that long, you kind of have to go through a few iterations. So we've undergone a couple brand changes in the last year or two, but we're really happy with where we are right now in terms of both of our branding and our beer.
Fantastic.
Great spot.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
My
I
pleasure.
really
Thank
love
you so
the
much.
pairing. It's delicious. That's going to be my go-to for my jerk chicken. Yeah.
I can help you.
Check out our website where you'll find info about today's show. I'm Michael Williams. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, dinner is better when we eat it together.
Cheers.